Good afternoon, guys. Today we will discuss about the water conservation. So first we will discuss about the definition of this water conservation. What is this water conservation definition? The proper management and storage of rainwater is known as water conservation. It is a management technique, and we have to store the rainwater, which is known as water conservation. So this is the definition of this. Then why we should consume the water? Thus, that is very important category in this case. So generally, water is essential to all biotic and non-biotic community which is living on the earth. So it is very important for the biotic and non-biotic community. So that is one. Why should we consume it? That is the one part of that. Second one is that to grow the food. So for agricultural purposes, to grow the plants, then we require the fresh water. That is second category. So for this purpose, we have to conserve the water. And third category is nothing but keep clean. So for doing cleanliness, we won't use the dirty water. We use the fresh water to clean the clothes, to clean the food, to clean the to wash the clothes. So we need the fresh water, not the dirty water. So that for that purposes we use this conservation. Second one, it will be provide the power generation. For generating of the power, we require this water. And to control the fire, whenever the fire occurs, so the water will control the fire. And the last one is to stay alive on the earth, so it is very essential. So these are the few parameters why we consume the water. So this is mandatory to consider all these cases, otherwise it is very big drawback to the people or to the biotic and non-biotic community. And one more thing, if you over exploitation of the water, over exploitation of water, then the ground level water will continuously decreasing. So if you use more number of water, if you over exploit the water, then the ground level water will be decreases. Then there is a very lot of difficulty for drinking purpose. And for industries also we are using this. So to just now I told you that power generation, if you want to generate the power, we require the water. Not only the power generation, we are having so many industries, and water will be the main criteria for that industry. So for that purposes we have to conserve the water. And coming to this last one, irrigation utilization is more and more. 70% of fresh water is utilizing on the irrigation purposes. So the remaining 30% only we are using, but the remaining 70% of water we are using for irrigation purposes. So that for that reason we should consume the water. And coming to this methods to conserve water, so first one is to reduce the water pollution. So in the previous chapter we discussed about the different types of pollutions, right? So here we have to reduce the water pollution, that is first case. Second one is turn off the taps. So if you are going to nearby the wash basin and you are going to wash your hands, so you have to use the limited amount of water, then only after that you have to close the taps, fill fill in the glass, and drink the water and wash the hands, so that the remaining water will be conserved. So we have to see that category. Second one is different technologies are required to efficient use of water. So we have to see that to utilizing of the to conserve the water, we should go for different types of technologies to conserve. And the last method is that is very important method, rainwater harvesting. What the previously how we are going to conserve, we will discuss in the next category. Apart from that, where the losses is going on continuously, if you see this first category, decreasing runoff losses. So what is this decreasing runoff losses? So if you take this definition, huge water occurs due to runoff on most of the soils. So huge water occurs due to the runoff on the most of the soils, which can be reducing by allowing most of the water infiltrate into the soil. If continuously the rainfall will occurs or more rainfall will occurs on the agricultural lands, automatically the water will be run off by the agriculture, and it will be goes into the dams or rivers. So not only the water is waste, not only the water is going, but the water will take the soil erosion also. So we have to decrease that one. So decreasing runoff losses, then how can we decrease this? So if you consistently infiltrate the things then into the soil, then automatically the water will be stay, you can reduce the runoff losses. And if you see, there are so many categories we are having to decrease the runoff losses. One is contour cultivation, second one is conservation bench terracing, water spreading, chemical agents, surface crop residues, chemical conditioner, water storage structure. So these are the few categories. And if you want to control the or if you want to decrease the runoff losses, this is the simple techniques we have to use to control all this. Second one, if you see this, reducing evaporation losses, this is second category. Means this is more relevant in humid regions, where we have to see this type of losses. Means in the humid regions, and there we have to keep horizontal barriers, so below the surface, below the soil surface, we have to keep the horizontal barriers which can increase the water availability, and it will be increase the crop yield by 35 to 40%. So that we have to see that this type, in this category, if you want to reduce the evaporation losses of water, then we have to put the horizontal barriers below the soil, so that we can increase the water availability on the crop, and we can get 35 to 40% by using this effective method. And coming to this, storing water in soil. So storing of water in soil, storage of water takes place in the soil, not in the root zone, in humid regions where the soil is vented to fill capacity. So in this, if you consistently in the humid regions, if the soil is wetted, then automatically it will strengthen the root zone, and it will the water will be placed there itself. So we have to store the water in the soil. And coming to this next category, reducing irrigation losses. So irrigation is nothing but in early morning and late evening to reduce the evaporation losses. We have to see that sprinkling irrigation and drip irrigation to conserve water by 30 to 50%. So the use of lined or covered canals to reduce seepage. So we have to do all these cases to reduce the irrigation losses. Next one, reuse of water. Treated wastewater can be used for fertigation. So treated wastewater can be used for ferti irrigation. So we have to see that the wastewater can be used for ferti irrigation. Use grey water from washing bathtubs, etc., for watering gardens, washing car or paths, help in saving fresh water. So you take the grey water or reuse the water which is coming from the agricultural lands, and use those water to washing the gardens, watering the gardens or washing the cars or so dash. So if you reuse this water, then it will be very useful for us. And coming to this last one, preventing wastage of water. So this can be done only in the households and commercial buildings and public places. So we can be prevent the wastage of water in these cases: closing taps when not used, repairing any leakage from pipes, using small capacity flush in toilets. So in this preventing of wastage of water, so we can closing the taps when not used, that is one case. Repairing any leakage from pipes, that is also one case. Using small capacity flushes in toilets, that is also useful for us to prevent the waste of water. Coming to this last one, increasing block pricing. If increasing block pricing is nothing but if you use the water more, then they may be charged more, and if you use the water less, then you have to be charged less. So that is the technical, that is the thing, so that internally we can develop the or conserve the water by the consumers. If you put more price for the using of more water, then the consumers economically they will see, and they used to conserve this water. Thank you about this is the topic. Thank you. We'll discuss the rainwater harvesting in this class.